Welcome back, everybody. So you got me and Tiny here today. Gonna give you an update on where we're at, and then I'll show you how well this thing tows, which was really impressive to me. So, kind of a change of plans on what I'm gonna do with the truck. I'm not selling it, I'm gonna keep it for sure, but it's kind of turned into, a toy that I'm just playing it around with here and maybe drive it on the road every now and then to, I'm pretty sure mid 24, towards the end of 24, the goal is to take this thing down Route 66. So that's a couple thousand miles, and this thing's got a long way to go if I'm going to do that. So here's just kind of a quick list I made up. This is just off the top of my head. Kind of zoom you in. So charging system, I think I'm going to do a GM1 wire. And the reason for that is you're not going to find a Lucas. I'm pretty sure that's a Lucas alternator. You're not going to find a Lucas alternator anywhere here. Not very easy anyway. I'm going to do the gauges, temperature, volt, oil pressure. There's some holes on the bottom of the dash. You probably zoom me out some. Some holes there. I'll just mount like a 3-gauge deal. Because even if these, which I do want to get these to work, but temp, that could be any number. The fuel gauge, I'm going to run a bigger tank anyway. So that's not a big issue. And the speedometer is really not an issue because it's not like it's going to go fast enough anyway. Probably wondering why I'm going to put a pyrometer EGT gauge. What are you doing? Come on. Anyway, so there's some pretty big climbs that are 5,000-6,000 feet, maybe 4,000 feet, I don't remember. This thing's non-turbo. It puts out some smoke. So I don't know what the exhaust temp's running, but I don't want to melt the piston down. So we'll put one of them in just to watch it. I know when to back out so I don't, make aluminum pudding. Turn signals, brake lights. I think the brake lights might work. The turn signals, they don't work. That got caught on my hoodie on the way out one day and I broke it off. Can't find any. The couple places I've looked say they can't source them, but I'll keep looking on eBay. And if not, there's nothing to this. It's probably like a few wires. I can make something work. Fuel filter head, the little whatever filter that is. Those are good for around here for running maybe 5 hours a month, but running it down the road, that's not going to cut it. I need a water separator and stuff. Preheating system. You got to figure out how to make it start. I do know I need to, like in the cold start video, some of the comments I remember is I know the timing's probably off. I know I probably have some glow plugs out. I know it needs 2 batteries and it needs to be cranking faster, and I'd be honest with you, I don't think 2 batteries is going to help that. It might a little bit, but I know it'll let it crank for longer because that's not a gear reduction starter from what I can tell. But worst comes to worst, I have a ether injection kit that's off a piece of equipment. So you just push a button, it gives it one little squirt and it'll start it without blowing stuff up. And that's really all this thing takes sometimes. Brakes. So that one is kind of up in the air. So on the wheel ends, I'll keep the disc, or not the disc, the drum brakes it has. Get the right parts, take them apart, get the right parts, get the hoses and stuff. But for the master cylinder, I want to run something that I can get here and just totally redo that setup. No, it's not original, but in a lot of these restoration stuff, they don't count against you if you upgrade the brakes. This thing's actually pretty light. I think I can adapt something they use in motorsports to fit, the firewall. I'm not real worried about the vacuum booster either. I've got pretty strong legs. I can get this thing to stop. Although it would be helpful, but it's not necessary. The head gasket. This engine, to my knowledge, never been apart. That's 50 years old? I don't remember off the top of my head. It's a few decades old. I don't know if it's an MLS gasket. I doubt it. So go through there, do that. Maybe do head studs. I don't think I'll need them, but something I'll do when I get in there. front and rear main seals. Again, 50 years old. This thing's been sitting for 33 years, I think. So I know as soon as you get on the road, those things will just start pouring. I know that from experience. Same with the transmission differential seals. This is what I want to do is I want to have the pump gone through. New front seal. It'd been sitting for years. I don't know if it had water in the fuel or anything. It seems fine. I mean, it pulls pretty hard, but if anything, worst case, I'll just throw a front seal on it, throw it back on, time it right, and go. Throw out bearing, that's just, you know, I'll have it apart when the transmission's out. Throttle cable, I did break that. Well, thanks for joining us. I think they're gonna go for a ride, I guess. But anyway, broke the throttle cable, cannot find one, but I'm gonna go universal on that, because if I break one on the road, you're screwed. The top speed. So on top of this thing being a total dog on power, that's like the comment I made earlier about the speedometer. I don't need a speedometer because this thing is slow. This thing, I'm pretty sure, has 513 gears, and it's wound out at like 45 or 50. And most of Route 66, you'd probably get away with it. You'd probably get away with it on all of it, because I've seen Model Ts and Model A's cruise down 66 and not get obliterated. But I don't know what route I want to go. Is there 5-speed, bigger tires, an overdrive, a brown light, a brownie box? You know, I don't know yet. And then the other hurdle you run into is, will this poor engine pull it? Because I don't think it will, especially at elevation. I think it'll just be a slow smoke machine. But as I go along, I'll do some thinking and think about it. And then the cooling, I don't know why I wrote cooling fan system. Oh, cooling fan / system. Put an electric fan on here, I think. I think I can put a big enough fan. Maybe get an aluminum radiator just to dissipate the heat better. Like I said, this thing doesn't run hot. It runs really cool. I know the thermostat's out and I need to flush that system out, but you know, there'll be some trial and error around here. And it'll be during the summer. You know, we'll have triple digit temperatures, 100 plus. So if I can get this thing, hook it up to an empty trailer, run it down the road and see what it does under various conditions. If I can make it where it'll run with a trailer in 100 degrees with my foot mashed to the floor, then it can do no trailer just fine. And then of course I didn't put it on there, it needs tires. And that's just all I thought of for now. I won't need this because if it's in the summer, my bypass core will be okay. The windows roll up and down. The wipers work, the hazards work. I need new switches, which I hadn't really messed with that. I know I can get them, I just haven't. Just been busy. Need an extra throttle cable. So yeah, that's the plan for this thing. And I'm trying to make it happen. There's a couple events, or I'll just cruise it on my own. You know, just the truck without being in an event. So upholstery, I need to do that, but that's not a priority. I just want to make this thing where it can jump in, drive down the highway slowly, because that's all it can do. That York, to me, I guess historically it's cool, but if you had to work this thing every day, that would be a pain, and I could see why most people would hate this thing. But it's a cool little novelty. I've never seen one. Probably not going to see another one over here unless I bring one. Or someone sees my videos and wants to be like, oh, well, I have the second one. So, anyway, enough of me talking. I've talked for almost 10 minutes. There's my little setup. Sorry if it's windy. It's always windy here. And yeah, I got some tires for the rear. Brand new junkyard tires. I don't know if I said it in the other video, but those things almost have no miles on them. $20 a piece. I'll put them on the rear. So I'm just hooked up to the factory. Well, I wouldn't call it factory, but the hitch that was on here, it hooked up. Not squatting real bad, I don't think. Really amazed me. That truck's way tougher than it looks. I mean, we don't have much of a load. We got the little clown car on here, which I need to shut off. But I think that trailer's, I don't know, about 1,800 pounds. And the car's about 2,000 pounds, so there's not much weight on there, but still I'm impressed. Little truck's doing good. We'll see how it actually drives. I'll just make a lap around here. So that was first time loaded. Throw it in first gear. Like you guys said, that first gear is really low because we're just crawling along. Still got it behind us. Not gonna lie, it's pretty impressive. This thing's, I think it has, if I read, 513 gears. So I can see why it tows really good. A lot of torque. Yeah, I don't mind that car. Now stopping, it's another story because we don't have brakes still. I don't know what route I'm going to take on that now. Really impressed though. I mean, it's just chugging along, doesn't care. Doesn't care that there's I guess a midget car on it. That's what we call it here, because a car like that gets run over on the highway. Pretty impressed. Not to expect that. But just so you guys know, it's not photo whatever trickery. So we're not moving. Foot's not on the gas. Still not on the gas. Just takes right off. Pretty impressive. The more I play with this thing, the more I'm impressed with it. I don't think I'll be impressed once it hits the open road, but for now, it's impressive to me anyway. Here's your outro, guys. We'll see if she freaks out when we start moving. You gotta move stuff around. It's okay, Tiny. What are you doing? Usually they do better than this. I don't know what her deal is. So anyway, that's your cat going for a ride. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.